Oh, it's a warm old day in Melbourne today. Not exactly sure of the temperature. I think it was going to be 31 or something. Not sure. I really just look up the temperature when I need to. I don't even focus on it anymore. 7-day forecast. I mean, really, what are they thinking? 20-30% out. Most of the time they're wrong. Even the other day they said it was going to be really hot, and it actually rained. It was 41 degrees supposedly, and it actually rained multiple times during the day. So, and no rain forecast whatsoever. But anyway, that's the weather. How are you enjoying the weather? Do you find it beautiful? Okay, today I'm doing something unusual. I'm recording with the dash cam up here, the trip, and I've got my speed alerts on here, and it's a web app that I've written, and it helps me see my current speed and the speed limit of the signs that we pass. It actually picks up the location, reads it from a file. It's not actually visually seeing the signs like some cars do. I suspect some cars try to trick you and make you think they do. But in any case, as we go past through this intersection, we'll see it go past a 60 km/h sign, and you'll hear it beep. Now, this is the development version I'm using, and the actual live version that everybody else uses typically won't beep, and it doesn't have the extra fields in there and extra information. So the development version's available to anybody. The options that I turn on and turn off are also available if you know the parameters, and I've documented the parameters. So here we go, and you'll see it tells me it's now 60. If I go too fast, it will tell me to slow down. It goes green in the background on the speed, which lets me know I'm doing within 5 kilometers an hour as a speed limit. I have a tendency to be a slow old man sometimes. Yes, I am slow, and yes, I'm probably classified as an old man now. So, slow old man, yep, two adjectives that describe me fairly well when I'm driving. But I do try to keep roughly to the speed limit. Try to drive safe. But yeah, sometimes when I'm chatting, I can actually turn around and on a 100 km/h road drop down to 90 or something like that. So it's good for me to have a reminder that shows me, look across and see the green background, and like that, crossing the road just right next to a pedestrian crossing. Really? And you can walk up and cross with pathways at the roundabout on the corner. So whatever people are doing, I don't know. Right, next one. So you can see it's actually working quite well. And today we're driving, I haven't quite made up my mind yet. Probably Officeworks in Bell Street, because I've got a load of old toners. I'm just such a whore.
Mobile camera nearby.
Mobile
camera nearby.
Report of a mobile camera. Well, that's not a mobile camera. Somebody, I think, thought that was a mobile camera. That makes sense. An SUV sitting on the side of the road there. But the mobile cameras typically have dark tinted windows, so you can hardly see the cameras anymore. That was quite clear. I could see clearly through it, just like I can see this one in front of the panel beaters quite clearly. So if I can see quite clearly through the car, probably not a mobile speed camera. Clear, so not a speed camera. And the good thing with this is I'm actually running this on a 360 video. I've got the dash cam going, I've got my phone acting as a speed limit alerts and speed and camera alert, and I've got the 360 camera sitting there as a passenger. Hi everybody, it's Calvin here. Hope you're enjoying my videos. Now, just a word of warning, if I put the videos, 360 videos up onto YouTube, and YouTube is a pretty terrible platform for 360 videos. I understand they're actually not that popular, and in fact most people use 360-degree cameras to take the video and then look anywhere around as they're doing a flat video, a HD flat video. It's 360. It's a 4K video that's being recorded, but once you take into account that takes an entire globe, a ball right around the camera. Well, whereas a normal camera, just like the dash cam here, is focusing straight out and does a smaller, much smaller, about 130, 140 degree view, whereas the 360 does 360. So if you think, that's sort of like about 3 times more information being collected in both directions, basically. And that means that you divide the camera down and you're getting basically about a HD quality video. Now, but the first thing is, most people switch on YouTube, play the video, and oh, what a horrible experience. It looks terrible. It's all grainy. But the problem is that YouTube starts playing the video and tries to determine what's a suitable speed for your connection. And a lot of times it plays it at 720. Now it's trying to bring down 4K, but showing you the lowest resolution. YouTube creates a different resolution for each of the, or a different video for each of the resolutions. So when you just select the default, you're going to get a shocking experience, even on a mobile phone. So the first thing you do is whack over to those settings, select advanced, and then select 2160S. That's for 4K. And you will see a good quality image. Particularly on phones, they can't display much better than that. So yeah, so don't think it's a crappy, shitty looking video. Often the video is quite reasonable. Now I have tried to put it in a headset and watch it in a headset using a mobile phone, but the real problem with that is, first of all, you've got the headset 2K, basically 2,000 pixels across, so whereas the video is 4,000 pixels roughly across. A little bit different from that, but that's good enough for an estimate. So already it's chopping it down, so it brings down the 4K but only displays it in half of that resolution, a little bit bigger than full HD. But then if you put on a headset, now if that headset,
Slow down.
if that headset, oh, and that's a good example of slow down. You'll notice the speed limit's gone to 40 because this is a work zone, and I've had to actually put this data in indicating it's a work zone. It told me to slow down because obviously we came to it. So it tells me a little bit early because it's about 50 meters before we hit the work zone. So anyway, back to the 360. So the next thing is that when you put the headset on one of these cheap headsets, which I've got a cheap $10 Woolworths headset, great for exploring 360 videos, virtual reality, but cheap and nasty because each eye sees, so the camera say it's got 2,200 pixels across. Split that in half because one eye gets one view, and no, it's not quite true. It creates it as 2 small images, and if you look at those images, it actually shrinks them quite a lot. So you probably you'll see them floating, little television sets floating in the middle of the black. So so it's not half, it's not quite a quarter, but pretty close. So when you use VR on the headsets, then you're going to get a very low quality image. Anyway, so the speed's telling me 60, so that's good. Off we go. These change all the time, so you've got to keep your eye on the signs. So if you're going to watch a 360 video, crank up the resolution in the setting, the quality, bump it up to the highest possible that you can download it, and probably maybe watch it on Wi-Fi, where you got unlimited data, and
Camera nearby. Camera nearby.
and then get the full experience that it's been designed to do. So you'll see with this video when it goes up. Okay, these are relatively new cameras here. Now, have a notice that sign at the right there. It's 40 with an arrow. A lot of people don't notice those, but what it's trying to tell you is if you turn right, you're going into a street, and that street is 40 kilometers an hour. Now, it's an information sign. It's not a speed limit, but once you turn into that street between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m, that street there, up past the shops and further up. Now, frankly, I just sort of think that that's a bit over the top, because not a great deal of accidents happened up there. Yes, people have driven out of their driveway and ran into cars. They should have taken more care. But basically, that is one of the highest speed fines in Melbourne. Those speeds, they're in the top 10 nearly every year, because you're driving along the road. Now, there's lots of signs to let you know, so it's your fault if you get booked, but really, we all know how. All you need to do is turn around and drop the speed limit down to 40. People aren't aware, they're driving at their normal things, and you'll get a lot of bookings. So, and that's happening. Lots of money raised, and so we just have to adjust. The road system is adjusting all the time. The government is pushing it down. I was told probably 10 years ago the government is pushing it down to 40 kilometres an hour, and you can see now that they're trying to aim for 30 in quite a few spots. So as a car driver or a driver, it's pretty crappy. For the overall environment, for the people living in places, you got to look at it that it's not just you on the road. It's cyclists, electric scooters, and pedestrians. So you got a whole mix. So we all tend to be a bit selfish, but what we've got to do is be considerate and tolerant of others. And that's life. We share the facilities. I didn't pay for this road. I can use it. I pay for it out of my taxes, as we all do. But ultimately, it's not mine alone. And so I've got to share it with others. And I should be tolerant of others, and we should always be tolerant and considerate of others. And generally, just have a look as we go along here today. There will be probably 1, 2, maybe 3 people who are driving like idiots, cutting in, thinking that nobody else matters, totally inconsiderate of anybody else, but overall, have a look at how many cars are around. Really, I'm amazed at just how compliant people are. In fact, I read that with speeding fines, something like 99.8% of the traffic complies. That's 2 in 1,000. So that's pretty good. Now, in certain areas, this is an interesting one. You see the McDonald's people pull into the roads, but then they pull into the McDonald's driveway and block the traffic. They're not doing that in this case, but people are jumping all over the place. Oh, it's the season. It's a silly season. My wife said, don't go out driving. They're really crazy at the moment. That was a bit of crazy driving. So slow, steady, consistent. Everybody knows what you're doing, but when you're jumping in and out, you're only thinking of yourself. If you miss a turn, just go on and do a U-turn. Some spaces that's really crappy, because you can't do a U-turn very easily, and you have to drive a kilometre down the road or more. I did that the other day. It was shocking, but that's life. So you can sort of see that car there is just trying to edge out without putting its indicator on, and then it just put its indicator on. You know, that's the joy of driving, really. It's always different. Doesn't matter if I posted this same drive 100 times in a row. It's always different. the cars on the road, how the drivers are driving. What you see is always different. It's minor differences, but you never know what you're going to see when you go out for a drive. So I think the first stop I'm doing today is I'm dropping into Officeworks, bundle of old toners that I've filled up my damn garage with for over a decade probably. Really a bit of a hoarder, and I sort of think, oh, what can I do with this? What can I do with it? I did use one old toner to fill up a toner for a printer I got given to me, and that worked perfectly. When I say it worked perfectly, I didn't know it wasn't working initially, but I eventually found usually the toners have got a control on them or a mechanism on them to stop you filling it up, a chip or something like that. But some of them you can actually reset. And so I watched some YouTube videos, reset, do this. None of that worked. Then I watched one more recently, about a year later, having this printer sit there not working, and it said just go into the settings, bang. Don't get notified if it's running out of toner. And I did that, and wow, printer working perfectly, filled up from an old toner from another type. So just open up the toner, made a funnel out of paper and pour the toner into the other print cartridge, and did it. Now it can be messy, just a little bit of spill and you get all this carbon or toner everywhere. So a bit of fun. Next time I'm just going to buy a toner. In actual fact, the good thing with printers nowadays, I rarely print. It's fantastic. In fact, it's the young people that changed my habits. I never felt that taking a photo with your camera was good enough, and for a long time it wasn't good enough. But it got to the point where it was sort of okay, and so. But now, the quality of the images that come out of a camera, you got a bit of table around it or whatever. I always put it on a background of some sort so you can't do it. Crop it, don't crop it, doesn't matter, send it off, nobody cares. The only ones that care are the damn government. It makes it incredibly difficult for you because they say, you have to sign this. Sign it. Yeah, try to sign it. Oh, now let's see. Yep. No, we're still moving. So the government should allow you to log onto your account with you verified yourself. It's your account, your password, and then you upload the document, and that's good enough. You're uploading a document from a verified person. It's pretty sure it's you. So the government needs to catch up with the technology. Anyway, so the petrol over here in Bell Street, usually a good price. The United's over here. Just a tip for the seniors amongst us. You can sign up with United and get a seniors discount at the moment. It's been going for a while, and they've just said download an app and you can continue to get the seniors discount. 4 cents a litre. You don't have to spend a cent anywhere. You just go in there and fill up. Their prices are usually $1.64. They're usually 2 cents better than the nearest Coles or Woolworths. Sometimes they match, but most of the time they're 2 cents better. So you get 2 cents better, and you don't have to go and buy groceries. Don't have to buy a thing. Just be old. It's a privilege. So anyway, I got told by my accountant, so I have to thank him for doing that suggestion. And if I check prices, I have vouchers for the others. I then check if I've got any extra discounts. But United for seniors. Yeah, thank you United Petroleum. I just wish I could use your app to see your petrol prices, but Petrol Spy gives a pretty reasonable glimpse around as to what the petrol prices are. Sometimes I've been caught out, but most of the time it's pretty reasonable. Okay, Jack's got some tyres there. Just negotiate, good price. Costco, I've got tyres there once. Jack's and Costco's price pretty well much the same, and you don't have to pay a membership for Jack's. So, oh look, there's JB Hi-Fi and Anaconda. I'm going to come back to that Anaconda. Stay tuned. Coming back to that. I won't. Actually, this video is probably not going to go up before Christmas. I'm going to get a couple of nice, cozy moon chairs from Anaconda. We've got this ridiculous system where here's the price. Say my electric bike, $2,000 or something. But for members, so they take your details so you can get on a marketing list. Half price, $999. That's just plain ridiculous. Because at the end of the day, how can they sell it to one person for $1,000 and another person for $2,000? It's just, you're paying full prices. I think you're getting swindled, basically. Certainly, getting your name and address is just not worth that money, but they get it for marketing, they get the information, how they use it. But you can unsubscribe, so you can be a member and unsubscribe, and it's not a big deal. This United Petrol price here on the left-hand side, as we're just coming up now, is actually better, often by a couple of cents. I forget what that was back there. This one can be just 2 cents cheaper sometimes. So I had to laugh. I was over in the pub across the road there in Bell Street, and my daughter sent me doing a scavenger hunt, and they had to read something in Japanese. I said, no problems, I'll go across the road to the Mazda. And so I went across there because Mazda's a Japanese car company, and I went in there and I said, anybody know Japanese here so they can translate this for me? Because it was the Japanese symbols. And they said, no one's Japanese here. We're owned by Korean owners, I think it was, which made me laugh. There's so much inter-ownership between car companies, you just don't know who owns what anymore. It's a bit of a joke, really. Mazda is not just Japanese anymore. It's who knows what else it's got mixed in there in the blood. So that was a waste of time. So same price here as down there, so no difference today. But the other day I picked it up, it was 2 cents a litre cheaper. Okay, we're doing the first part of our trip at Officeworks now, and we will hit the pause button. Oh, I've got this great little remote control now for my GoPro. So as I go along, no more hands, no more cutting the start and the end of the video to get me out of there, because I had to pull it down and show me. So I can now just press on the button. Great little, it's a cheap one. It's not the, when I say cheap, nothing's ever cheap, but anyway, it's cheaper than the actual GoPro one, and it works a treat. So I'm very happy with the purchase. If you want to know what the code is for it, or the product is, just leave a comment in the leave a comment and I'll provide the details. Anyway, that's it for the first part of the drive. Thank you very much for coming with me, and we'll come back together shortly and we'll head off for the Anaconda.